most people don't know the difference between social anxiety and introversion. In fact, most people usually think that these two terms mean the same thing. However, that is not true. Social anxiety and introversion are two completely different things. Social anxiety refers to the fear that prevents you from living your life as you wish. People who suffer from social anxiety often don't like to attend social gatherings, because of fear of being judged by others. On the other hand, an introverted person is simply a person who enjoys his or her own company. In this video, we will discuss the signs that you are not an introvert, and that it may actually be social anxiety. 1. You want to go out but feel unable. One of the signs that you may be suffering from social anxiety is, if you find yourself really wanting to go out, but you do not, due to fear of judgment from other people or embarrassment. Unlike introverted individuals who avoid going to social places because they just want to relax at home, individuals suffering from social anxiety are often limited in pursuing goals and desires because of fear. So, if you often avoid social situations because of fear, then you may be suffering from social anxiety, not introversion. 2. You avoid going out but feel lonely when alone. Another sign that you may be suffering from social anxiety as opposed to introversion is if you avoid going out, but you feel lonely when alone. Introverts don't feel lonely when they are alone. In fact, they enjoy each moment that they spend alone. An individual who is an introvert may cancel important meetings just to spend quality time alone in an effort to re-energize and relax. On the other hand, people with social anxiety may convince themselves that it is better to stay at home, but deep down, they feel lonely and want to go out. They tend to find themselves bored and lonely, due to anxiety, causing them not to enjoy their own company. They want to interact with others, but are unable due to intense feelings of fear and anxiousness regarding social interactions and situations. 3. You feel anxious about social interaction. Introverts are usually not anxious about social interactions. Instead, they often feel drained by social interactions, and usually want to spend as little time as they can on a social gathering. On the other hand, if you are suffering from social anxiety, then anything that involves social gatherings makes you feel anxious. People suffering from social anxiety are usually very quiet when in social gatherings, not because they don't have something to say, but because they think they cannot express themselves in a social gathering. Introverts are usually shy or quiet in a social gathering, but they usually have no problem socializing with other people on their own terms. 4. You tend to avoid people. People suffering from social anxiety often do all they can to avoid interacting with other people. They are not good at making friends and often convince themselves that they are loners and don't need to interact with other people in order to feel happy. However, in reality, they desire to interact with other people. People suffering from social anxiety often tend to avoid large groups and avoid situations with people that they are not familiar with. They believe that social gatherings are scary, hazardous, or dangerous and always try as much as they can to minimize social interactions. 5. You have to drink to feel comfortable in social gatherings. People who are suffering from social anxiety usually have low self-esteem and confidence, and often drink in order to feel comfortable when in social settings. If you are the type of person who must drink alcohol in order to get the courage to attend a social event, then you may have social anxiety. Introverts don't solely drink in order to gain the courage to interact with other people in social settings. They drink because they want to enjoy a beverage or to enjoy themselves. In most cases, people who have social anxiety often end up drinking to reduce anxious feelings, and at times, they may end up drinking too much, replacing one negative concern with another. 6. You cancel your plans many times. People who suffer from social anxiety tend to cancel their plans many times, not because they don't want to go ahead with them, but due to the intense fear that social anxiety may bring. Although introverts may cancel their plans too, they don't do so because of fear. 7. You don't mind losing opportunities. Like most individuals, introvert or extrovert, people don't like missing out on opportunities. They always do what they can to tap into opportunities that present themselves. On the other hand, people suffering from social anxiety are often willing to let good opportunities go, to avoid feelings and symptoms that fear may present in the body. If you find yourself skipping dinners, networking events, or career opportunities out of fear, then you are suffering from social anxiety. Social anxiety is not something that you have to live with, and help is available. Click the link in the comments below for more info. Are you an introvert or do you suffer from social anxiety? Share your story with us in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to hit the like button, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Spread the love and send this video to at least 2 friends or your favorite group chat. Sharing is caring after all. Be sure to hit the bell icon to stay up to date with our latest videos. Remember to be polite to yourself first, so you can be polite to others. Take care of yourself, until next time.